Saturday, May 25th, or Sunday, May 26th, depending on your region. Link in the description to the official announcement so you can figure out what your time zone's all about. Well, we got Lapras Raid Day. Yeah, so this is pretty exciting for two reasons. Reason one is you can get the Shiny Lapras, so plenty of reasons to raid Lapras there. And then reason number two, it's going to have the Leagacy Moves, Ice Shard and Ice Beam. Both moves are pretty important for PvP in the Great League and the Ultra League, so this may be one of your few opportunities to get these attacks on a Lapras, so definitely a day to make the most of. Here we got the duo guide and a little graph I made here to help you out figuring out the duo. Of course, Don151 whipped up a duo guide on GamePress as well, so if you want to reference any of this information or you want some more details than what I'm giving you, Don will be providing you with a bit more information than what I'm giving you here, but I think the information I have is just enough to get you through the duo. But link in the description to that guide. So if you're not familiar with my swag graphs here, the y-axis is DPS, so how quickly you can deal damage, and then the x-axis is TDO, total damage output, how much damage or how much percent of the raid boss's HP your Pokemon will take out before going down on average. This graph here is based off of using level 40 counters unless stated otherwise, and the other points are their break points, against a tier 4 Lapras raid using Frost Breath and Hydro Pump, no dodging, with best friendship. And coming from the data that I got from the Hydro Pump set, I don't think it's necessary to make a graph for the Surf and the Blizzard sets because the results are going to be quite similar and won't really help or harm your ability to do the duo by just having this one. So to defeat any tier 5 or tier 4 raid boss in Pokemon Go, you need a collective DPS of 50. So if you're trying to do the duo, you need 25 DPS each, or somebody could have 26 and the other person could have 24 on average DPS, as long as you're totaling 2 or above 50, and that's how you do it. So that's why the duo line here is at 25. So if you skirt a little bit too close to the duo line, relobbying will hurt your DPS. So if you're trying to do this with like all level 29 Raids, you might be in for a little bit of a challenge there. But if you are, bringing in some of the big guns here, then you're pretty much set. And then big DPS can make up for little DPS. So if you want to bring in your Jolteons and your Leafeons to try to help out with the duo, well, that's so long as you have like Raikos, Electivires, Machamps, Breilooms. I don't think you really have anything to worry about in terms of your ability to duo. And then normal breakpoints aside, Breloom and Rampardos here have little extra conditions going on. Basically, their TDO, their total damage output, which is kind of like more or less tankiness, is so low at, all of Rampardos' points, and then at Breloom's level 31 breakpoint. Rather than smushing this already smushed section even more, I decided to just make special notes for them. So yeah, you'll see that their DPSs are at 27 or higher at the labeled points. So you are able to get a little bit more, some budget action in there to get the DPS in. So something good to know. Just keep in mind that with the decreased TDO, your likelihood of relobbying increases, but with the high DPS that they're doing, I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue if you want to bring in level 31 or level 32 Breilooms and Rampardoses. Alright, so cutting into the basic here, yeah, Raikou, Electivire, Machamp, Breloom, Magnezone. What did you expect to be good against this raid, right? Yeah, one thing I think is pretty interesting and definitely telling of Electivire's power here is its level 33.5 breakpoint is like basically as good in terms of DPS as Raikou's level 37.5 breakpoint. So definitely a lot of value out of Electivire, especially a lot of value from a budget standpoint on Electivire. Your Machamp's definitely not too shabby as per usual. Breloom does have a level 39 breakpoint, so if you do power it up to level 40, you will get a little bit extra tankiness. But if that is a little bit too much for you on the Breloom, well, level 31 is pretty fine, even though it's not featured on this graph. Your DPS is at 27.1, which is definitely enough to contribute to the duo. Now, this isn't using Blizzard, so obviously if Blizzard was involved, then the grass and flying type Pokemon featured here in the center, probably Breloom, those Pokemon would be doing a bit worse in terms of DPS and TDO. The DPS drop likely won't be that great. The TDO drop would be because they'd be getting one shot, but I think their DPS is enough where it, you know, makes up for the quick fainting there. So as long as your team isn't completely comprised of ice weak Pokemon, I think you won't have any issues going up against the Blizzard set. And then of course, if you are up against the Blizzard set, Magnezone does resist the ice type damage, so he'd be an even better pick for that particular raid fight. If you think about it, well, we have Kyogre coming up soon as a raid boss again, like they're recycling that. Don't have the date right now, but link in the description to that announcement if you want some more details. But these will be the same Pokemon that you'll be using against Kyogre when it comes back too. So yeah, if you want to, you know, dust up a couple Electivires, probably a good idea. Oh yeah, and if you are looking and you see the little star here next to them, those are just kind of like general cutoffs, like not a break point, not exactly a bulk point either for most of these Pokemon, just an additional point on the graph, just to let you know where they're at, because I mean, going from 37.5 on Raikou all the way down to level 25 is like, well, what's in between? Well, here's level 30.5. Level 30.5 does correlate with a couple bulk points, but whatever. And then Electivire, I believe this also correlates with a couple bulk points, but it's, you know, water under the bridge. The bulk points are a little bit more niche in this particular raid, so yeah, just a general point, let you know where they're at if they're not at level 33.5. You only want to power up to level 30 or something, right? And then here for level 39.5 on Hariyama, Hariyama does have a level 40 breakpoint. So if you don't have a 15 attack IV maxed out Hariyama, well, this is probably the level of DPS you'll probably be looking at for Hariyama here. So yeah, that's basically it. Duo, pretty easy, not too complicated. No weather boosts are included on here. I mean, obviously, if it's rainy outside, the electric types are going to do way better, and they're already making the duo, right? So crazy good. And then if it's sunny, if you got the clear weather, well, then obviously grass type Pokemon, much better. And if it's cloudy, then the fighting type Pokemon, much better. And if it's partly cloudy, then maybe Tyranitar will have some duo-worthy DPS, and then Rampardos over here. Definitely much better. If you want to add weather breakpoints to this particular graph, you can screenshot this and put it into Paint. And then if you use Go Battle Sim, what I did to get these results is I did a duo scenario with best friendship, no dodging, and then up against an immortal raid boss, 6 Pokemon each. And then you can use that data to whittle it down to 1 Pokemon's DPS and 1 Pokemon's TDO, and you can add them to the graph yourself. So definitely not too hard there. If you want to put your own little additions on here, like what's a weather boosted Leafeon, because I want that to be my all-star and I'm going to forget about the other grass types or something. I don't know, man. But yeah, this duo, pretty easy. And if you are curious, yeah, nothing's going to be soloing it. You're going to be too far away. So, you know, rainy weather, oh man, with Raikou, and it's not actually a solo because I got a friend in there, but they're not attacking, so it's still a solo, but you're not going to make a solo. So it's not going to happen. Yeah, if you like this raid content, comment below, let me know. Maybe subscribe to SwagTips. And if you got any questions on this content, then yeah, comment below. Let me know what's up. I'll be happy to help you out. SwagTips. A lot of people say they like it when I do the post-credit scene, and I don't really have a post-credit scene for you, so here you go, post-credit scene, guys.